Hi, I'm LifeCoachLANDRY, and the topic is 5 ways to ruin an apology. I was on a radio show this weekend, and one of the things that was brought up was someone called in, and Elizabeth from Austin is who called in, and asked, every time me and my boyfriend get in a fight, I'm reading the email here, every time me and my boyfriend get in a fight, I seem to screw up my way to apologize. However, I'm genuinely trying to apologize, but sometimes my attitude can get in the way. I'm trying to find better ways to do this because I do want my relationship to work. I do not want to leave. However, it seems to always be the opposite when I apologize. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of the things that I brought up on the radio when I was doing the show. And there's a couple different ways. There are different habits that people fall into when they're apologizing. And it's pretty funny because it's not hard to screw up an apology. However, it's really easy to do an apology right? So, number one would be the people who say, I'm sorry, but I can't pay attention to every detail. I'm not perfect. Okay, that's just basically a cop-out. Watch out for the word but. It's a sneaky little word that undoes the sincerity of an apology. Basically, you're justifying what you did with the word but. Okay? It doesn't matter if what you say after the but is true, if you add more apology on after the but. Once you've said that, you basically invalidated your own apology, okay? It makes your apology false. Okay, you don't want to do that, right? You don't want anybody to think you don't really care. But if it's one of those things where you're saying that you're not perfect, well, then you're copying out. That sounds like what a single person says when they don't want to be responsible for a situation, okay? The next one would be, okay, I apologize, but I didn't know such a sensitive issue for you. A common way we run apologies is to say, I'm sorry for the way you feel. Now, that doesn't mean sometimes that's not justified, that the way they feel isn't wrong. However, you don't want to invalidate them while you're trying to figure out what's going on, and that's what you do when you say that. It's, or I'm sorry of what I did made you upset. There are times where, if you're with someone overly dramatic, melodramatic, passive aggressive, you're going to actually be saying that a lot. But if you're with a normal person who's trying to work out a relationship with you, that's another cop out. Okay. You're saying, in effect, I'm sorry you reacted the way you did to my perfectly reasonable behavior, is what you're saying. Okay. A genuine apology, for wrongdoers is basically consider 3 more relationship busting sorries that you should take care to avoid, because there's more of them you can do than just that one. Okay, so I want you to realize you can also say these 3 things that could screw it up. You could say, I apologize for yelling, and now I'd like you to apologize for provoking me. Basically, they want you to apologize for encouraging them to act the way they did towards trying to apologize to you. Okay, a good apology does not bring up the other person's crime sheet. It's the best way I can put it. It focuses on expressing responsibility and remorse for their part in the situation, regardless if you had part or not. It's that they want to be sorry for their part. Okay, save your complaints for a different conversation. The last thing you want to do is have a snowballed conversation where everything you two have been talking about is all and now in one conversation. Things from 2 and 3 weeks ago are now entering it. You're just going to have the other person going like this, scratching the head, because they're not even know how to begin to solve this issue. Okay? I apologize 10 times for the affair, so please let's drop it, okay? First of all, if you've gone through an affair, it's probably over. Just move on. Doesn't matter, rose-colored glasses, when you look back at your relationship and you think, well, maybe one day, or, now that I'm away from it, the pain isn't as big anymore. They seem like they've changed. It's probably over. It'll never be the same, okay? Oh, God, I was such a bad person. I'll never forgive myself. That's just like saying I'm not perfect. It's basically another reason, okay? But it's important to show genuine remorse, but it's not going to help if your body language and you're copying out during it. As I explained, it can be excruciating. It could just be downright painful for people to go through and sorry with you if it's bad, right? You're basically just adding more salt to the wound, even though you think you're apologizing. The number one thing I can tell you to do when you apologize to someone, imagine hot coals and you've got to walk across them, and when you're done, you can't complain that they were hot. Okay? Apologize, own it, be accountable. Don't bring up other topics. Don't bring up other subjects from weeks ago. Do not play tit for tat. Do not turn it into a tennis match where you're swinging back and forth. I guarantee your relationship will only get worse. Okay, when you apologize to someone, say, I'm sorry for that. If there's anything I can do in the future, if you start to feel that way, please let me know. I will try to address it as soon as I can. I 100% own that part of it, and I'm going to try to do better with that. Notice nowhere in there did I say, but. Notice nowhere in there did I say, yeah, but if, nowhere in there did I say, you did this, so I did that. Just learn to apologize. It'll go a long way. And if you want to talk more on this topic, contact me in the link below, and I will talk to you soon.